welcome to another edition of MYC in the ICT. My name is Manuela Nevia, and on this episode, we'll be discussing the Wichita Walk Against Gang Violence. Joining me today is the co-director of Safe Street, Randy Wells, here to talk about gang violence.
Good evening.
How are you? Tell me a little bit about this program.
The Wichita Walk Against Gang Violence is a community-driven demonstration against gangs, telling them there's more of us than there are of you. We should not be intimidated by 3,000 gang members when there's 500,000 people in this city. And we're driving this through our churches, our communities of faith. This year we'll be at McAdams Park on April 14th, convening at 9:30, and then around 10 o'clock we'll have several pastors, local pastors, Pastor Hicks from the Ministerial Alliance, Pastor Dave Fulton from St. Paul's Lutheran Church, who is the founder of Safe Streets here in Wichita, and a couple of Mayor Brewer, if he can make it, or Levanta Williams as the vice mayor. And so we'll kick that off, and then we'll walk through this neighborhood because there's gangs in this neighborhood. And part of our route will take us right past a gang-related homicide. Now that case has been solved, but we want to remember the victim, the young man that was killed. And so that's why we're going to be walking. And then at the end of the walk, we'll be back to McAdams Park. After we all get there, folks can, there'll be vendors, food vendors, you can buy barbecue or what have you. And also we'll have over 50 different youth service organizations represented there.
Okay, that's very neat. What areas will you be walking through?
The route will start on 17th Street and then go east to Pyatt, then south, and then we'll cross 13th Street and go past this scene of the homicide. And then we will revert back and come back north and re-enter the park. So it's about 2 miles, 2.1 mile. And if people feel that they're not able to make it, maybe they can walk a portion of it and meet at one of the churches along the way and then join up with us as we go by.
Okay, how did this program get started?
This is out of the Safe Streets, Wichita. We started in North Wichita in the area we call Comunidad de Paz, a community of peace. The city had asked us to go into this neighborhood, that's from 9th to 29th, Broadway to the Little Arkansas River, and start meeting with the neighbors. And we started doing that through our churches. Primarily the St. Patrick's Catholic Church has been wonderful. Father Jerome has allowed us to come into his church, meet with his parishioners, and find out about what kind of issues, what kind of problems they have. And we learned 3 years ago it was gangs, it was drugs, it was graffiti. 3 years ago there were over $300,000 worth of damage from graffiti. And since we've had 2 walks against gang violence in this neighborhood, and graffiti is down to $25,000 last year. So we have a huge drop of over $250,000 in damage. We're communicating better with the Hispanic population because the law enforcement comes in and they put on classes for the neighbors there. We have a community garden that we just started planting this today, I think, because we wrote it tilted on Friday. We have National Night Out activities. We go out with the police after a major incident and help the neighbors organize their own neighborhood watch or address some issues that they have from that particular incident. And we go out after search warrants, drive-by shootings, and unfortunately we had a 13-year-old killed in a homicide. Some gang members thought they were shooting through a door of a suspected gang member. He was not a gang member, and this kid's name was Miguel Andrade. And we walked past his house last spring for the Wichita Walk Against Gang Violence last year. And that was pretty moving to see his mother standing there with the Aztecas football team cheering for him. And we wanted to remember that senseless act of violence.
Have you noticed any changes since you started doing the walk?
Yes, besides the significant drop in graffiti, overall crime rate is down, violent crime is down, and we're getting more people calling Crime Stoppers even to report drug offenses and talk about issues in their community. We've also, through the Young Professionals of Wichita, we had a build where we repaired 10 homes just south of North High School, about $70,000 worth of improvements through the Young Professionals organization. And fortunately, they're going to rehab 10 more homes in a different neighborhood, but still within the confines of our Comunidad de Paz.
Why do you think young people should get involved with this walk?
Well, as a member of the Mayor's Youth Council, you're our future leaders, and we don't want you to wait till high school is over or college is over to think, I'm going to be a leader now. You can start doing that now. And that's what we want our youth to do. We want them to realize what's going on in their neighborhoods and help. Maybe there's an elderly woman down the street needs her sidewalk shoveled when it snows. Things like that, just nice acts of kindness and keeping peace in the neighborhoods. Everybody's involved in keeping peace in our neighborhoods and keeping our neighborhoods strong. And young people like yourself are going to be the future leaders, and so I'm challenging all the young people, let's start leading now in the right direction.
How many people have you had in past walks, and then how many are you expecting this year?
Well, we had over 2,000 in our first one, over 2,500 or so in our second one. And I'd like to grow it even more and invite the Mayor's Youth Council, all of you folks, to come participate. Wear your shirts so you'll stick out as members of the Mayor's Youth Council. And we hope to have over 3,000. We had 55 organizations with tables talking about their individual programs, and I imagine we'll have that or a few more. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Boys and Girls Club, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Youth for Christ, just all these different organizations that want to make Wichita a better place to live and a safer place to live. And we all agree gang violence is bad.
Will you remind me when this is going to take place?
Okay, it's on April 14th. That's a Saturday, 9:30 to gather at McAdams Park. That's at 13th and the Canal. And there's plenty of parking. Just come and wear your walking shoes, and we'll start after the speakers talk, probably about 10:15. We'll take and start. North High's Honor Guard will lead the walk, and we're trying to get a couple bands, so if we can get anybody else who wants to walk, all you got to do is show up. That's all you have to do. You don't have to call anything. That's free. The first 1,500 people will get a Wichita Walk Against Gang Violence t-shirt, and that's through the Wichita Crime Commission is helping with that, and the Sedgwick County Sheriff's Office.
How come the walk changed locations this year?
This year we decided to move it a little bit east at the invitation of Levanta Williams, and we have the Ministerial League, Pastor Hicks wanted us to move the walk over to their neighborhood because they have gang issues too. And in conjunction with that, Safe Streets is working with a coalition of folks, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Youth for Christ, Communities in School, Youthville, Cancel, and I probably missed one. But we're all working on a Positive Pathways program. And the Positive Pathways program is to work with youth 16 to 24 who've had some sort of law enforcement or court contact, help them get trained, get their jobs, get their driver's license, and a component of that is violence prevention. And at the request of Captain Easter, and we're working in this new neighborhood, which is from 13th to 27th, the canal route all the way out to Hillside. And that is a new effort we just started last month. But we're working with youth that live in that neighborhood to help them get a job, help them get on the straight and narrow, get the drug or alcohol counseling they need to make them a productive citizen again after they're brushed with the law.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me, and we'll see you on April 14th.
If you would like to learn more about the Mayor's Youth Council, go to wichita.gov and click on the Mayor's Youth Council link.